Hi and welcome to our tip 002, Geocoding in R with tidygeocoder. My name is Adrian Cidre and in today's tutorial we will learn how to do forward and backward geocoding using the tidygeocoder package in R, and you will get all the code to replicate this exercise in the comments of this video. But first, what is geocoding? So geocoding is the process of converting addresses, place names or other location data into geographic coordinates. And we have two types of geocoding depending on the direction of this geocoding. So forward geocoding is converting addresses into coordinates, and reverse geocoding is converting coordinates into addresses. In the tidygeocoder package, we have four main functions to do the geocoding. And to do forward geocoding, we have the function geo for geocoding only one address and geocode for several addresses. In contrast, for reverse geocoding, we have the functions reverse underscore geo for one address and reverse underscore geocode for several addresses. When we use the geocoding functions with the tidygeocoder package, we need to access a geocoding service because those are the ones that have all the necessary information to transform from coordinates to addresses or from addresses to coordinates. And we have all these available methods that we can see in this table, and you can see here the different services. And if you go to the tidygeocoder website, you can come here and access the different services. Note that the three first ones, OSM, US Census, and ArcGIS, they don't need an API key and you can use them for free. However, if you want to use the other ones, you will need an API key. And to do so, you should go to the different websites, create an account, get your API token, and store it as an environment variable with the names that you see in this other table. For the purposes of this tutorial, we will just use the ones that are available for free. Alright, so we will go now with the coding, and you can find this script inside the 002 tidycoder folder, this geocoding.r, in the comments of this video. So here I will start importing the packages. We will use the dplyr package, the map view for some interactive visualizations, OSM data to retrieve some data into R. I have one video where I explain how this package works, DSF package for manipulating vectorial data, and finally the core of this tutorial, which is the tidygeocoder package. So we will start with forward geocoding, which is transforming from address to coordinates. And we will start geocoding only one address. And to do this, we use the geo function, where we introduce the address that we want to transform, and then we use one method. By default, it uses the OSM, but I usually prefer to use the ArcGIS. So I will execute this, and you see that this is passing one address to the ArcGIS single address geocoder, and it will retrieve a table where we have the latitude and longitude for the address that we introduced here. We can use also here OSM, so I will execute this, and you will see the same coordinates for a different place but using a different service. Note that if you use here census, this won't work because this one will work only for the United States. And we can try other different services. We can open the help of this function with F1, and you will see the different services that you have available here. But let's say that I want to use, for instance, TomTom. It will throw an error because I don't have the API key for this service. So I will go with ArcGIS. Now we will do the same for a different address, but note that here I'm using the street number, the name of the city, and the name of the region. So I will execute this code and I will print it in the console, and you will see that we get a similar result, but in this case we are using a very specific location and not just one city. Now we can convert this to an special object with st_as_sf. I specify where the coordinates are stored, so the x coordinate in R is the longitude and the y coordinate is the latitude, the coordinate reference system, so I will execute this. And then we can use the map view function to visualize where this address is located. And we can see the point here. And indeed, what I was trying to locate is the health center of my town. And you can see here that is located in the right place because Centro de Saúde is the health center. So we are very precise. The next step is to do geocoding for several addresses. So here I'm creating a new table with two addresses. I will execute it and print it in the console. So it's just one table with two rows and only one column where I will try to get the coordinates of the cinema of my town and also the hospital of my town. So now I need to put this table into the geocode function, and here in address I need to specify the name of the column where the addresses are stored, which is the address column. And then I use the same method, so you can see that this is very easy because it's very similar as we saw before. And if I execute this part of the code, we get the same table with the latitude and the longitude. And now I can convert it to an SF object as we did before. So now we get this simple feature collection and I can use the map view function. So we will see that we have one point here for the hospital of Monforte de Lemos, and we can see that indeed in the OpenStreetMap base map we can see that this is the hospital. And the other location is the cinema that is located here. Although OpenStreetMap says it's down here, but in reality I live here and I know that the cinema is up here and not down here. Alright, we will go now with the last part of the script, which is reverse geocoding. And we will start doing reverse geocoding for one pair of coordinates. And to do this, we will just use the reverse_geo function. We introduce the latitude, the longitude, and the method that we want to use. And if I execute this, in the same way as before, we will get one table. But first we get the latitude and the longitude, which are the ones that we introduce here, and then the address. And you can see that this address is the same that we had here. And this is because the coordinates that I introduced in the reverse_geo function are the ones that this code gave me back. So we can see that we have the Centro de Salud Monforte de Lemos, which is the health center of Monforte de Lemos, then the name of the street, number 21, and you can see that is the same that we had here, and then the postal code and the town name. We can use another different method, for instance OSM, and you will see that the address will be slightly different. And here we get only the name of the town. We don't get the name of the street. And that's why I like more to use ArcGIS when I want to be very precise in the terms of the street. Then we can use another example, and here I will use the OpenStreetMap OSM data, R package to retrieve some data from the city Joensuu in Finland, and I want to get the pharmacies. So if I print this object in the console, we get one object of class OSM data, and here I'm interested in the points, which are the locations of the pharmacies. So if I execute this part of the code, we get this table with many different variables, but I will take only the name and the geometry. And now if I print this object in the console, we just get this simple feature collection with two columns, the name and the geometry for the simple feature. What I will do now is to get the coordinates with the st_coordinates function, and this will retrieve a matrix, but I want to convert it into a table, so I use the asTable function, and now it's in this other format. So I will execute all together and save it as a new variable, or as a new object, sorry. And now this new object, I can introduce it into the function reverse geocode. I will say that the latitude is in the Y column, the longitude is in the X column, and I will use again the ArcGIS method. So if I execute this, you will see that it will take a moment because there are 14 coordinates in this case. Now it's finished and I can print this in the console. And now we get the address for all of these coordinates. And I won't even try to read this because it's a bit difficult for me. But you can see that all of them are in Joensuu, Finland, or in other places that we will see now in map view that are in the region. So now I will convert it into an SF object by using the same function as before and then add it to the map view function. So here we can see the Joensuu city and we can see other cities around where we have also the pharmacies, but we can go to these places and you will see that the point will be exactly above the symbol of the pharmacy. And we can click on it to see the address. And we can go to a different point and you will see that they will be always above these icons. So this was everything for this video about geocoding. I hope you enjoyed it and that you liked it. In the case that you have any question, you can ask me anything in the comments of this video. And if you enjoyed it, please leave me a very huge like in this video and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next video.